Yeah, good morning everyone. In today's class, we will try to discuss. So, what is the this keyword? Okay, actually, 3 4 points are there. Just we will try to cover those. So, first one, this keyword refers to current class object. So, what is this meaning? So, this keyword refers to current class object. So, what is the meaning? Right. Write one class. Take any class. Okay. So, I am taking one XYZ class. Right. If I define this class as a public class, with what name I need to save it? I must save with XYZ only. If I am trying to save with another name, I will get compile time error saying that class is public, you must save with XYZ only. Okay. So if the class is a public class, you must save the class with that name only. Yeah, this is that error. See here. So someone is facing this error. So here public class example one. So here class is public type. You must save the file as a example one. But while compiling the program Java C, they are compiling with b.java. So that's why it is not possible. Here it is asking you to save this file as a example one. Class okay. Class example one is public should be declared in file name as a example one .java. So you must save this file with example one. Otherwise you just remove the public keyword. Okay, this is the error. Right. So in this case I will save with public control s daily classes xyz.java. Save it. Now observe public static void main. When it, I think it is auto logging in. No, 21. String arguments. Right. So inside this, just create object with reference. Right. I try to print. Right. Right now, it's static variable. You are not supposed to use here this keyword. One minute. So try to compile the program. So I will explain so what is happening. Compile the code. Try to execute it. So you need to call the M1 method. Right. So here what we need to observe. So first point, this keyword refers to current class object. Okay. So this keyword is refers to current class object. So where and where we will use the this keyword. So you can use the this keyword only in instance method. Suppose this is instance block. So if you are trying to use it, so only instance members you can use it. Wherever the instance members are there you can use the this keyword. Right. So any other instance member? So you have three instance members actually. Right. So one you are using inside the method. This is not a static method, instance method. Here you are using instance block. So here also you are using constructor. Okay. So instance members, all these are instance members, right? So integer, sorry, void m1, block, instance block, and constructor. So this is a main method. Main method is a static method. Suppose if you are trying to use here, you are getting compile time error. So I'm trying to compile it. I compiled. I got only one error message. So that is at line number 18. Non-static variable. Non-static variable. Non-static variable. This means this is a variable like a reference variable. So how the reference variable will work, in the same way this keyword will work. Okay, cannot be a reference from the static context. That means, so you have one reference variable, the variable name is this, and that is the instance variable. You cannot call from static context. I hope you understand the point. Suppose if there is an instance variable integer x, can you access the instance variable directly here? So this main method is static method. Variable x is instance variable. So you cannot call the instance variable directly here. In the same way, xyz. So this is a keyword. So you cannot assign like this, right? What they by reading this error message, non-static variable. So this means, so that will be inside a class you are defining here. Okay, this is called non-static variable. So what is the variable name? This. So what is the class type? In this case xyz. If you take another class, there it will work for another class variable, right? So this is the instance variable. Instance members you cannot access directly from the static context, right? As of now only one point. So this means this is a variable. Okay, consider this is a instance variable. This is a instance variable. First point, this is a instance variable. You cannot access from static context, right? I hope you know this point by seeing this code. If you are trying to access this keyword here, so you will get compile time error. You are not supposed to access from static area. That means maybe static method, maybe static block, right? Only you have two, static method and static block. I'm getting too much breathing problem. Okay, no problem. Right. So now we will try to understand what are the uses of this keyword. What are the uses of this keyword? So first point you understood where you need to define the this keyword. So now we will see what is the use of this keyword. What is the use of this keyword? Right. Suppose if you want to call this method, okay, how to call that method? Suppose if you want to call this method, this is an instance method. How to call this method? You must create an object using the reference. You need to call it, right? X dot m1, right? Suppose there is a one more method, m2 method is there, right? So m2 method is there. So if you want to call the m2 method, I will call from here using the reference. You will call it. Suppose if you want to call from m1, so you will call directly m2 here. So that means what will happen? Inside the main method, you are creating object. So using the reference, you are calling m1 method. So m1 method is calling and executing. Inside the m1 method, there is a m2 method call. M2 method will call and execute. Right. Right. So instead of, so if you compile this code, what will happen actually? If you compile this code at the back end, what is happening? Right. So so observe here. So if I compile and execute the program, what will happen? First it will call the m1 method. So m1 method will be called. This line will be printed. So from m1 you are calling m2. M2 will be called and this will be executed. Right. So actually to call any method, any instance method on top of reference only you need to call it. On top of the reference only you need to call it. So from m1 you are directly calling m2. So if you compile and execute the program, you will get the output. So compile, try to execute it, executing, right? But internally what will happen? So in this case, internally, what the compiler will do, it will add a code like this. Internally, so m2 means if this is an instance member, m2 means if this is an instance member, then the compiler will add the code at the back end, it will add the code like this. So this dot m2, it will add like this. So what is this meaning? This means in the current class, whatever the instance members are there, so everything will be pointed by this reference. So using the reference, you are calling m2 at the back end. Okay, you are directly writing m2, but at the back end, what will happen? The compiler will add this dot. So that means to call m1 method or m2 method, you must require a reference. So from here, you created reference. Using this reference, you are calling it. So this will start. Instance member is started. So from here, if you want to call any instance member, so you are calling directly, even though in the back end, So it will add the code like this dot m2. Using the reference only you must call the instance members. If you are not using the reference, so a compiler will add this, okay, for the current class, not the super class or some other subclass, right? So in this case, it will apply this dot m2 at the back end and it will call this one. Suppose there is a one variable here, integer sum x equal to 10. Suppose if you are trying to print x variable here, not out.println of x. So in this case, what will happen? So it will compile and it will execute. It will return the x value. No problem. After m2, right? So after m1 is called, from the m1, m2 is called, from the m2, from inside the m2. So there is a code to print x value. X is printed 10. So in this case also, x is a instance variable. To call the instance variable, a reference must be required. Even if this is the instance method. So at the back end, what will happen? At the back end, it will add this dot x. So using the reference only, it will call the variable. Okay, at the back end, it will work like this. So if you have doubt, so you directly add this dot. So if you have doubt, you directly add this dot. Right. So try to compile the code, execute the code, you are getting same output. Okay, right? So at the back end, to call the instance members from the instance block or instance method, we are directly calling it. But at the compilation level time, so if you are calling the instance members, the compiler will add this keyword to call the remaining instance members. Remaining instance members means first instance members you need to call directly using your reference. Why? Because this is a static method. So first method you must be called using your own reference. So from here, if you want to call any instance members, you no need to use this keyword. Compiler will add it. Right. Suppose if you want to call a constructor, suppose if you want to call a constructor, also you can use this keyword. So actually this keyword uses are, so I hope you got the point. What is this keyword? This keyword means that is a instance variable. Okay, so what that variable will refers, it will refers instance members of that class. Okay, so if you create a object reference, the object reference is pointing to all the instance members of that class. In the same way, this keyword is also refers to all the members of that class, instance members of that class. Right. So by using this keyword, what we can do? So by using this keyword, we can call instance variables, right? So instance methods, by using this keyword we can call current class instance variables, then current class instance methods, right? Current class constructors, right? So there are some other uses also. Using this keyword, you can pass current class object to some other method or to some other constructor. Or using this keyword, you can return the current class object also. So we will see with examples, no problem. So as of now, this means one variable. But what is the variable type? That will be varied from class to class type. So if class is XYZ, this will refers to XYZ class. If class is ABC, this will refers to ABC, right? So wherever you are using this keyword, this keyword variable type is that particular class, right? So Where and where you can use this keyword? This keyword you can use inside the instance members. That means constructors, methods, and instance blocks. Methods means instance methods. Here you can use this keyword. So what is the use of this keyword? By using this keyword, we can call current class variables, current class or methods, instance methods, and current class constructors. So if you want to pass a current class object, in that case you can use this keyword. If you want to, if somebody is called a method, if they are expecting the current class object, in that case also you can use this keyword. So all these are this keyword uses. So we will see with examples. Right. So what I will do, first I will pick one example. Suppose integer roll number is there, right? String name is there. I have a constructor here, integer roll number, string name, right? Roll number equal to roll number, name equal to name. So I have a method to display the student data. So method name is display. So in this method I am trying to print the data, roll number, name, right? So observe here, right? So in this class nothing is there. You have two variables. These two are instance variables, and there is a constructor. Parameter is a constructor. Two parameters are there. One is integer parameter, second one is string parameter. That is class type. So inside the constructor I am assigning the values. So roll number to roll number, name to name. So in this case observe, this roll number is local variable, this name is local variable for this constructor. This roll number is instance variable, this name is instance variable. Those are available up to, that means the life will be up to the object level, right? But these variables life will be up to this constructor only, roll number and name, right? So after that I am using a method to display the content, right? So how to call the constructor? First I need to create an object. How to create an object? Equal to new, what is my class name? XYZ. So I don't have any default constructor, I have a parameters constructor. I need to pass two values here. So first one is roll number, second one is name. So I am passing roll number integer value, second one name some XYZ, or you can pass any name, right? So you created object, right? So as of now what we did, just we constructed a class, we created object, we are calling the parameters constructor by passing 10 and MLRIT as a value. So this will come here, so it will set the values. After that you try to call the display method to print the data, right? So I'm calling x1 dot display method. Now in this case what is the output? So in this case what is the output? Clear the screen, java c xyz.java compiled successfully. If you are trying to execute the program, so you are getting the data 0 and null. But what are the values you passed here? 10 and MLRIT, right? So in this case why these values are not passing? So whenever you creating the object, that time the constructor has to call and execute. Okay, so whenever you created the object, instance members are identified, those are assigned with the default values. So roll number, you don't have any value. So in this case, default value will be 0. 0 will be assigned by the JVM at the time of object creation. So here also you are not providing any name. So that means whenever you are creating the object, JVM will assign null value here. Why? Because data type is class type. For the class type, values are null. Default values are null. For integer type, default value is 0. So these values 0 and null is provided by the JVM at the time of object creation. Object creation is completed. So that means object got created, x1 is pointing it. Then what you are doing? You are calling display method. So what that okay, sorry, you created object. So that in default values are assigned. After that, constructor is called. So inside the constructor, what you are doing? You are assigning roll number equal to roll number, name equal to name. That means what is happening here? So local variable value is assigning to local variable only. It is not assigning to instance variable. Okay, here the local variable name and instance variable name both are same. Name also. Roll number is same, name is same. That means two variable names are same. So that's why it is not assigning the local variable value to the instance variable value. So in this case, you need to explicitly tell, take the local variable value and assign to instance variable value. So in this case, how to get the instance variable? So apply this keyword here. So if you apply this keyword here, what it will do? So it will not pick the local variable name here. So what it will do? It will try to pick the variable name roll number from the object level. That is this one, instance variable value. So instance variable value, now local variable value is assigning to instance variable value. The same way apply this here. So this is local variable and this is instance variable. That means this one. So in this case, whatever the values you are passing, those are passed to this. Right. So now try to compile and execute the code. Right, you are getting 10, 10 and some name. Right. So if you pass some 20, some name, so you will get the data. Right. So first point, this keyword is used to call instance variable. Okay, uses first point, this keyword is used to call the current class instance variables. So here I am calling the current class instance variable. Here also I am calling current class instance variable. Here if you why in this case what is happening? Whenever you are calling the display method, what is happening here? What is happening here? So is this will pick any local variable? So in this case, roll number means what is this? Is this local variable or instance variable? First it will verify is there any local variable inside the display method. If there is a local variable, then it will print the local variable value. If there is no local variable, then it will apply this dot roll number. So in this case, instance variable value will be printed. So instance variable value that is updated with 0 is updated with 20 and ABC. So it is updated with 20 and ABC. Right, 20 and ABC. So you will get 20 here, ABC here. Right. So this is the first point. Right. So if you have any doubts, you can ask me this.
సార్ ఇప్పుడు చెప్పింది ఇంకొకసారి చెప్పరా?
రైట్. సో మొత్తం కాన్సెప్ట్ అమ్మా లేకపోతే డిస్ప్లే మెథడా?
డిస్ప్లే మెథడ్ ఒకటే సార్.
రైట్. ఏం లేదు, సింపుల్. సపోజ్ డిస్ప్లే మెథడ్లో కనుక ఇన్సైడ్ ద డిస్ప్లే మెథడ్, so if you have a local variable integer roll number and string name, if you have two variables and these are local variables. Roll number is belongs to display method, name is belongs to display method. Whenever you are trying to print roll number and name, in this case what will happen? So first it will throw compile time error. Why? Because you are trying to use the variable name, that is a local variable, and you didn't assign any value. So for the local variables, before using the local variable, you have to assign the value. So that is the point we learn at a variable level. Compile it, you are getting the errors saying that variable roll number might not has been assigned. Right? You must assign some value. I am assigning with some default values. So here if you want, you can assign value, otherwise you can assign default value. Right? I assigned here. So in this case, it will print 0 and null. If I am trying to execute the program, it will print 0 and null. Compile, clear the screen, execute it, you are getting 0 and null. So from where you are getting, these are getting from local variable. So is that really true? So I am changing the values and I will give something, right? So roll number 100, name Srinivas. So if you are trying to print, so it will print 100 and Srinivas, right? So what is happening? First, it will give the preference to local variables. Local variable is there. Still, you want only instance variable. Local variable name and instance variable name both are same. So if you want to print instance variable here, forcefully tell the compiler call from instance variable only. Don't call from local variable. In this way, you can call it. So if you apply this dot roll number, so whatever the value you passed here, so that will be printed in this case. Now you will get the output 20 and ABC. Right? Compile the code, execute the code, you are getting 20 ABC. Right? So in this case, local variable name and instance variable name both are same. Suppose if this is not same, I am adding one here and one here. So in this case, this keyword is not there, then no issue. Local variable number 1, name 1. So in this case, no issue. Why? Because roll number 1 is not a local variable. If the local variable is not there, it will try to pick the instance variable. Instance variable is there, so it will print either default value or assigned value. Right? If he is not assigned, it will print the default value. He is assigned, you will get the value. Compile it, execute it, you are getting the output. So this is one use. Okay, calling instance variables using this keyword. Okay, so actually if you want to call, either you will apply the reference name, you can call it. Reference name is, if you want to print here, you can directly print by using reference name. out.println x1 dot roll number 1. So this is called by using reference name. So how the reference is working, in the same way this keyword will work. But this reference variable you can create in static method, you can call from there. But this keyword you cannot call from static method. Right. Compile the code. Sorry. You can call name also. Name 1 from main method. So you just comment it, save the file, compile, execute, you are getting the result. So you are getting the result from main method. Right. So this is one use. So we will see how to call a method. Any doubts here? Right. So observe there are two methods. Two methods are there. I will write two methods. Right. So here I will add two methods. Earlier example only. If you have doubts, you just see void m2. Right. So from here you can call directly m2 method. Right. This is m2 method. So inside the m2 method, I will add one x.println. Right. m2 method. So same exactly like earlier case only, m1 method. m1 method, m2 method. So from m1 method you are printing one line m1 method, then you are calling m2 method. So m2 method will call and it will print m2 method. But what I am trying to say in this point, so internally it will apply this dot m2. Okay, so if you are not calling explicitly, so internally it will apply this one. So if you call by using this dot m2 also, you will call the method, right? I will call, so I am creating object x1 dot m1, m1 will call, m1 will print this one, then m2 will call. So how the m2 will call? M2 will be called in the same class. So how it is the same class, not in the super class? Not in the super class. So if it is not there in the same class, it will goes to next level, that is a super dot, right? Okay, no problem. So m2 is there, it will apply this dot m2, m2 will be called, right? Compile it, execute it, you are getting the result m1 and m2, right? This is one way. Second use. So third use, calling the constructors, right? Constructor xyz, one constructor, and another constructor xyz with a different parameter. So three uses to call the current class variables, to call the current class methods, and to call the current class constructors. So we discussed two, third one, right? So println, so default constructor, right? So this is the parameters constructor. If you want to print the value, you can print it. Parameters constructor, so you can print the value a also. So now this keyword is used to call the current class constructor also. Okay, so this keyword is used to call the current class constructor also. So that means when I created the object, so that time constructor is called. So from this constructor I will apply this keyword here and I will call this constructor. So this constructor is having some parameter, I will pass some parameter here, right? So in this way I can call the constructor also. I am not using the name xyz of 10. If you want, you can apply xyz of 10, no problem. So that one we also call the constructor, but you need to use new keyword, right? So from here you no need to use, directly call it, right? So try to observe, I am using this keyword. By using this keyword, first it will goes to this one and it will print this line. After that cursor will come back and it will print this line. So that means first parameters constructor a value, then default constructor, right? So compile the code, getting some error, cannot find the symbol. What is the symbol? Println. So printl, printl. So compile the code, execute the code. Sorry, again you are getting some other error. Method m1 is not there. This is m1. Sorry, no need to call m1. No method is not there. We are just calling the constructors. So default constructor, from the default constructor, parameter constructor. Actually methods are not there. I didn't remove the code. So compile the code, execute the code. So you are getting first parameter constructor, then default constructor. Why? Because you are using the this keyword in starting. Can you use the this keyword ending? Ending are somewhere else, right? So this keyword must be the first statement inside the constructor. Okay, if there is a constructor call, the call must be first statement inside the constructor. If you are trying to use anywhere else, you will get compile time error, right? So again, so if there is a call for the constructor from a constructor, సో కన్స్ట్రక్టర్ నుంచి కన్స్ట్రక్టర్ కాల్ చేయాలంటే మస్ట్ అండ్ షుడ్గా కన్స్ట్రక్టర్ నుంచే కాల్ చేయాలి, వేరే దగ్గర నుంచి కాల్ చేయకూడదు. ఓకే, విల్ సీ దట్ వన్ ఆల్సో. So you are trying to call a constructor, that is parameters constructor, from a default constructor. Whenever you are trying to call, the call must be the first line, not in the middle, not in the end, anywhere. So must be in the first line. If you are trying to use somewhere, you will get compile time error. Right, compile the program. So call to this means call to parameters constructor must be first statement inside the constructor. So this is invalid. So you must use this statement in the first line only. Right. So why first line only? Maybe in this one you may be assigned some values, so those values maybe you are using here. So that's why those changes has to reflect here. That's why uh, a call must be first line only. Right. So if you are using anywhere else, you will get the compile time error. Right. So from a method, is it possible to call a constructor? So I hope you see the output. So you understand this one, how to call a constructor by using this keyword. You are getting the output. So suppose there is a method. One method is there, some m1 method. So from this,
సార్
చెప్పమ్మా.
ఒకవేళ పారామీటరైజ్ కన్స్ట్రక్టర్ ఫస్ట్ ఉండి డిఫాల్ట్ కన్స్ట్రక్టర్ సెకండ్ ఉండే
సో పారామీటర్స్
ఈ రెండు ఎక్స్చేంజ్ చేస్తే సార్ అప్పుడు దిస్ ఆఫ్ 10 అనేది సెకండ్ దానిలో ఉంటది కదా.
ఇలాగేనమ్మా. సో ఆబ్జెక్ట్ క్రియేట్ చేసావు, పారామీటర్ 10 ఇక్కడ పాస్ అయింది. సో యు ఆర్ కాలింగ్ దిస్ కీవర్డ్ హియర్. సో ఇన్ దిస్ కేస్ వాట్ విల్ హ్యాపెన్? సో డిఫాల్ట్ కన్స్ట్రక్టర్ విల్ బి కాల్డ్. ఓకే. సో డిఫాల్ట్
అంటే
కన్స్ట్రక్ట్,
ఇట్లా కూడా ఇప్పుడు ఫస్ట్ లైన్ లోనే రాసుకోవాలా సార్?
అవునమ్మా.
అంటే సెకండ్ లో ఉండినా కూడా ఐ మీన్
కన్స్ట్రక్టర్ కాల్ చేసే స్టేట్మెంట్ మస్ట్ అండ్ షుడ్గా ఫస్ట్ లైన్లోనే ఉండాలి. సో అలా కాకుండా వేరే ఎక్కడ రాసినా సరే కంపైల్ టైం ఎర్రర్ వస్తుంది. సో
ఓకే సార్.
కంపైల్ ద కోడ్, execute the, sorry, I didn't change it. What happened? Saved it. Yeah, ఫస్ట్ లైన్లోనే ఉంది. రైట్, ఫస్ట్ లైన్లోనే ఉంది కాబట్టి యు ఆర్ నాట్ గెటింగ్ ఎనీ ఎర్రర్. Compile it, execute it, you are not getting an error. Suppose you are trying to change this location to somewhere else, not in the last line, maybe in the next second line also. Right? This is also invalid. Okay, you are keeping that in middle, so you will get compile time error. Call to the this, that means constructor must be first statement inside the constructor. Right. So now, is this possible to call a constructor from a method? Is it possible to call a constructor from a method? One method is there. So from this method, can I call constructor? So can I call like this? Right? Constructor call must be from constructor only. You are not supposed to call from method. Right? So if you are trying to compile it, sorry, compile, you are getting the error. Line number 5. Line number 5 means here. Call to this must be first statement inside the constructor. You are getting the same error. So that means you must call the constructor from constructor only, not from method. So this is invalid. Right. So I hope you understand. By using this keyword, you can call the current class variables, current class methods, and current class constructors. But all these things must be instance members only, not from static method or static block. So you must use this keyword from static method or instance method, instance block, or instance constructor, not from anywhere else. If you are trying to call from static block or static method, you will get compile time error, right? So we will see that one also. So static block. So in this, if you are trying to call this keyword, suppose you are trying to print some data, system.out.println, println now. This dot some x variable, right? X variable is there. Consider x variable is there. X variable is assigned with some value, right? So try to compile it and execute it. Compile the code. You are getting error, non-static variable. So static variable you cannot access from static context. So if you are trying to assign this as a static, then so you are applying this. This means instance member. So you are calling instance member. Is there any instance variable x? No variable instance x. You check what will happen. You are getting the error. Variable, sorry, non-static variable. This cannot be refers to from the static context. That means you are not supposed to use the this keyword inside the static block. Now the error message, you are not supposed to use the this keyword from the static block, right? సో కొంతమంది ఏం చేస్తారు, మెయిన్ మెథడ్ నుంచి డైరెక్ట్గా దిస్ కీవర్డ్ కాల్ చేయడానికి ట్రై చేస్తారు. సో దట్ ఈస్ ఇన్వాలిడ్ అని చెప్పడం కోసం ఇది ట్రై చేశాను, రైట్? సో ఆల్ దీస్ ఆర్ అబౌట్ దిస్ కీవర్డ్ ఓన్లీ. సో సమ్ టైమ్స్ పీపుల్ విల్ యూజ్ దిస్ వన్ ఆల్సో, రైట్? Suppose there is a method integer m1 method. So for m1 method there is a parameter, or you can take one more method, void m2 method. For m2 method there is a parameter of xyz x, right? So you create an object for xyz class and call the m1 method x1.m1, right? So that means it will call this method .println, right? So you can say m1 method is this. So from here you are calling m2 method. So how to call m2 method? For calling m2 method you need to pass object of xyz class. So that means you need to create an object for xyz class and you need to pass it. So in this way you can call. Okay, see, observe here what I am trying to do. So I am trying to call m2 method. So m2 method is having one parameter, right? M2 method is having one parameter. So the parameter is not primitive type, so it's a reference type. So reference of which class? xyz class. Xyz class means current class. So in this case, to call the m2 method, you need to create an object for your class. You need to pass it. That means either you can directly create an object here and take a reference, and you can pass a here. So in this way you can call m2 method. Okay, so try to understand. M2 method is there. For m2 method there is a parameter, but the parameter is not primitive type, it's a class type. Which class type? Our class type. So in this case, to call the m2 method, you create an object for our class and pass the reference of our class. In this way you can call the m1 and m2 method. So compile the code. Compile, sorry, some this main method, this is void return type, right? So compile the code. I didn't compile it. Compile the code, compiled successfully, execute the code, executed successfully. You are getting m1 and m2 methods. So in this case, instead of creating a object and passing the reference, forget about this line and this a, just simply pass this. You are passing this keyword means you are passing current class object, right? So in this way you can pass the current class object. So compile the code. Now compile time error, execute the code, executed. You are getting the output, right? So in this case also we can use the this keyword not only for calling variables, calling methods, calling constructors. If you want to pass current class object, in that case also we will use this keyword, right? Suppose there is some other case. So if you want to return a current class object, returning current class object means, I will write the code once again. I hope you understand this one. This is the fourth point. So if you want to pass current class object, in that case also we will use this keyword. If you want to if you want to pass current class object, in that case also we will use this keyword, right? So next point, so again I will write the same two methods and I will observe. So next point is for returning the current class object, right? I have a method m1 method, right? I have a method void m2 method. Here, so first method m1 method without return type. Second method m2 method, a return type is there. The return type is not primitive type, it's a class type and the class is current class, right? So in this case, so what the return type here? So in this case you must write the return statement. Then what you need to return here we will see. So m1 method, I'm writing m1 method, right? So from here I can call the m2 method by using this keyword also. I'm calling the m2 method I'm calling using this keyword. No need to use this keyword, no problem. If you use also, no problem, right? So m2 method will call. So after calling the m2 method, so you can print some statement here. M2 method. So M2 method, this line is printed. So after that, M2 method has to return XYZ object. That means you need to create a object here of XYZ class, XYZ some X equal to new XYZ, and you need to return this variable X here, X. So if you return this variable, then this is completed. Okay, returning is completed. Now compile the code, execute the code, you are getting the output m1 and m2 is called. So instead of creating object and returning the reference, so you can rewrite this line by using this keyword. So actually you are creating the object to current class. Instead of creating the object and assigning to some reference and returning that reference, you can use directly this keyword here, return this keyword. That means whenever someone is called this method, what this method will do, it will returns the current class object. That means who is calling the m2 method, m1 is calling. So for m1 it will return the object. Right. Actually, he has to store the value in some variable. By using that variable, he can update the data. Right. We can print the data, or he can use the data. Right. See here, compiling the code, compiled, executing the code, executed. So if you don't want to use this keyword, you no need. So actually, whenever you call the m2 method is returning something. So what it is returning? XYZ it is returning. That means whatever it is returning, you need to store inside some variable. So I am storing into some variable. The variable type must be this data type. So that is up to you. You will store, you don't store. After that you will use, you don't use. That is up to you. Right. So if you call m2 method will be called, this line is executed, m2 method is returning this, that means current class object. So when who is person called m2 method, you need to store the return object in some variable. The variable type must be class type. Now by using the variable, you can call the members of this class. Right. So compile the code. M2 method, invalid method declaration, return type required. What happened? So I think maybe I while copy pasting, maybe I cutted it XYZ. So this is this keyword. How to use the this keyword? Compile the code, compile successfully, execute the code, you are getting the results. So any doubts in this? So as of now I covered these 5 points. So first one, this keyword means that's a one variable. So what is the variable type? Class type. So in which class you are using it, this keyword, the class type will be, the type of this keyword will be that class type, right? So that's a instance variable. You are not supposed to call from static block or static method, right? So what is the use of this keyword? First point, so using this keyword you can call current class variables. So I explained with one example. If local variable names and the instance variable names both are same, in that case by using this keyword we can separate it. If you want only instance variables, then you can apply this dot. So I explained with that example. And to call the current class methods, you can use this keyword, right? So if you are not using this keyword, you are directly calling it at the back end, the compiler will add this, right? So then, so for calling the current class constructors, we will use this keyword. Calling the current class constructors means, so from constructor to constructor you make a call by using this keyword. But while making a call, this call must be first statement inside the constructor. If you are using anywhere else, you will get compile time error, right? So you can call the other constructors by using this keyword, but from the constructor only, and that too it will be the first statement only, right? So next point, so if you want to pass a current class object to a method, we can use this keyword. And next one is, if you want to return current class object, in that case we will use this keyword. So in these 5 scenarios we will apply this keyword, so to call the instance members of a class, right? Any doubts in this? Yeah. Do you have any doubts in this keyword? Rohit? Rohit, are you there? రోహిత్ ఏమైనా డౌట్ ఉందా? ఏమన్నా అర్థమైందా? ఏం అర్థం కాలేదా? ఉన్నావా రోహిత్? అవునా? రైట్. ఎనీ అదర్ పర్సన్, ఎనీ డౌట్స్? సో వాట్ ఈస్ ద యూజ్ ఆఫ్ దిస్ కీవర్డ్? దిస్ కీవర్డ్ అంటే ఏం లేదండి. సో ఆబ్జెక్ట్ మీద, అంటే మనం మెయిన్ మెథడ్లో ఆబ్జెక్ట్ క్రియేట్ చేసి రెఫరెన్స్ వేరియబుల్ క్రియేట్ చేసాం. ఆ రెఫరెన్స్ వేరియబుల్ యూజ్ చేసి ఏం చేస్తాం? క్లాస్లో ఉన్న ఇన్స్టాన్స్ మెంబర్స్ అన్ని కాల్ చేస్తాం. సో అక్కడ రెఫరెన్స్ వేరియబుల్ ఎలా వర్క్ అవుతుందో సేమ్ వే దిస్ కీవర్డ్ వర్క్ అవుతుంది. కానీ ఆ రెఫరెన్స్ వేరియబుల్ నువ్వు ఇన్స్టాన్స్, అదే స్టాటిక్ మెథడ్స్ నుంచి, స్టాటిక్ బ్లాక్స్ నుంచి కూడా కాల్ చేసుకోవచ్చు. కానీ ఇక్కడ దిస్ కీవర్డ్ మాత్రం ఇన్స్టాన్స్ మెంబర్స్ నుంచే కాల్ చేసుకోవాలి, అంతే, రైట్? ఆబ్జెక్ట్ క్రియేట్ చేయకుండా డైరెక్ట్గా క్లాస్లో ఉన్న మెంబర్స్ని, ఇన్స్టాన్స్ మెంబర్స్ని కాల్ చేయాలంటే దిస్ కీవర్డ్ యూజ్ చేస్తాం. అదే పాయింట్, రైట్? సో విల్ డిస్కస్ super keyword also. Yeah, we'll see super keyword also. So super keyword means it must require a parent child classes. Okay, super keyword, if you want to apply the super keyword, so there must be a parent child relationship. Okay, parent child relationship means you must do the inheritance concept, right? So inheritance concept, so I'm trying to add 2 classes here. So I hope in yesterday's class also I discussed a little bit. So write a class name is some ABC class. ABC class is completed. So write another class, XYZ class. So XYZ class is also completed. So now if you want to make the parent child relationship between these two, so suppose ABC wants to be a parent for the XYZ, then use the keyword extends keyword. and apply ABC. Suppose ABC wants to be a child for the XYZ class, you can apply in this way. Okay, apply in this way. Now XYZ is a superclass and ABC is a subclass. Suppose if you make it reverse, right? ABC, that means XYZ is a child class, ABC is the superclass. So can you apply both directly? Vice versa, like this. ఇలా రాయొచ్చండి, ఏబీసీకి పేరెంట్ ఎక్స్వైజెడ్, ఎక్స్వైజెడ్కి పేరెంట్ ఏబీసీ. సో ఇలా రాసి కంపైల్ చేస్తే ఏమైంది? Compile the code. Right, you are getting error saying that cyclic inheritance is not possible in Java. Okay, error, cyclic inheritance involving in ABC, right? So this is not valid, you are getting compile time error, right? You must make one as a parent. Okay, right. So what is the use of inheritance? So what is the use of inheritance? Code reusability. So only one point, that is a code reusability. So code reusability means reusability, right? I am not writing. So actually whatever suppose in parent class some implementation is there. So using that implement, child can having permission to use that implementation. So that means whatever the parent class implementation is there, that implementation can be used by the child by default without creating the parent class object. ఓకేనా? సో యాక్చువల్గా ఈ క్లాస్లో ఏదైనా ఇంప్లిమెంటేషన్ ఉందనుకోండి, ఇఫ్ ఎ క్లాస్ కంటైన్స్ సమ్ ఇంప్లిమెంటేషన్, ఇఫ్ యూ వాంట్ టు యూజ్ దట్ ఇంప్లిమెంటేషన్, you must create a object for that class and you can call it, right? Suppose in case of parent and child relationship, suppose parent class contains some implementation, whatever the implementation is there, that will be by default available to the child without creating the object to parent. ఓకేనా? సో ఐ హోప్ యూ గాట్ ద పాయింట్. సో సపోజ్ దీంట్లో ఒక మెథడ్ ఉందండి, ఏదో ఒక ఇంప్లిమెంటేషన్. మనం జనరల్గా మెథడ్ అంటే ఒక లైనే రాస్తున్నాం, కానీ రియల్ టైంలో ఒక లైనే ఉండదు. ఓకేనా? ఇట్ విల్ కాల్ సో మెనీ మెథడ్స్ ఇంటర్నల్లీ, సో మెనీ మెథడ్స్ కాల్ సో మచ్ ఆఫ్ కోడ్, రైట్? సో హియర్ ఐఎమ్ రైటింగ్ పేరెంట్ క్లాస్ ఇంప్లిమెంటేషన్. system.out.println implementation, right? Suppose this is not a child. If you want to use this implementation, then how you will use this implementation? You must create an object to this class and call this method, then only you are able to use this implementation, right? So I'm writing the code for that. If you are unable to understand, please ask me, no problem. So now if you want to use this M1 implementation of ABC class, first you need to create an object for ABC class. Then using the reference you need to call it. So then only you are able to access that method implementation, right? So then only you are able to access the method implementation. Compile it, execute it, you are getting the method. What happened? Main method is not there, public static. Compile the code, right? Execute the code, you are getting parent class implementation method. Suppose ABC and XYZ is having parent child relationship. Having parent child relationship. So in this case, what will happen? In this case, if you want to call the M1 method, you no need to create an object for ABC class, right? Then how to call the M1 method? How to call the M1 method? You create object to child class, using the child class reference you can call it. So that means whatever the parent class implementation is there, so that is available to child class through inheritance. Okay, if the child want to use the parent class implementation, he can use the parent class implementation without creating parent class object. If you want to use the parent class implementation in child class, if you create a object for child class, that is enough. No need to create object for parent class. So in this case, what will happen? So first it will search for the M1 method in child class. If it is not there, it will verify in the super class. If it is there, it is executed. So compile the program. So you are able to call the parent class implementation. So this is called code reusability. So this is called code reusability. Right. So now, so we need to discuss about super keyword. Okay. So what is a super keyword? Super keyword means it will refers to the current, immediate superclass reference. Maybe you know it. Super keyword. So what is the use of super keyword? So first, what is the super keyword? It will refers to immediate superclass reference. So immediate superclass means suppose in this program, so there is one more class. Class name is PQR, and if the class is a parent of PQR, then in this case, so XYZ parent is ABC, ABC parent is PQR. So in this case, immediate superclass of XYZ means, so superclass means for XYZ, ABC is superclass, for XYZ, PQR is also superclass. So XYZ ABC is direct superclass, for XYZ, PQR is indirect superclass. Right? So here immediate superclass means immediate parent, that is ABC only, not PQR. Right. So here the point is superclass keyword, super keyword refers to immediate superclass reference. That means, so in XYZ class, XYZ superclass is ABC class. In ABC class, if there are any instance members or instance methods or constructors, you can call those by using super keyword from subclass, that is XYZ class. I am removing this one, not required. Right. Now I will try to understand. Suppose here x variable x equal to 10 is here. In subclass also integer x equal to 10 is there. Right. In superclass x variable 10 is there. In subclass x variable 10 is there. So forget about this method. I am removing that method also. Right. So if I am trying to call system.out.println of x dot, okay, you can change the variable name instead of feeling difficulty. A dot x. In this case, what is the output? A dot x. In this case, what is the output? So you are creating a object for XYZ class. You created for XYZ class. So this is the reference. So in this case, actually what is happening, if you create an object, what is happening at the backend? So it is trying to assign the instance members from top to bottom. That means from parent to child. In parent class, X variable is there. So first it will assign with 0 value. In child class, X is there. It will assign with 0 value. Then next step, it will update the programmer assigned values. That means parent class X is updated with 100. Child class variable will be updated with 10. After that, if there is any instance blocks will be executed. Sorry, వినిపించట్లేదమ్మా? Right. So whenever you create a object, what will happen? Anyone? ఎవరైనా చెప్పగలరండి? What will happen? ఆబ్జెక్ట్ క్రియేట్ చేసినప్పుడు ఏం జరిగింది? So first you will assign the instance member from parent to child. First it will identify the instance member from parent to child. Then it will assign the values and execution of instance blocks from top to bottom, that means from parent to child, and constructor execution, that is the parent class constructor execution completed, then child class constructor execution completed. So after that it will call this line. So whenever you are trying to print a dot x, what will happen? So a means xyz reference. In xyz class, if there is an x variable will be printed. So in this case you will get the result as a 10. Then if you want parent class x variable, how you will call it? Without creating the parent class object, how you will call it? So actually if you want parent class variable, then what you have to do? ABC sum b equal to new ABC. Then you can use the system.out.println abc dot b dot x. So here you will get the child class variable, here you will get the parent class variable. So compile the code, execute the code, you are getting 10 100. So 10 means child class variable, 100 means parent class variable. But actually whatever the features are there, without creating the object you need to get it. But here the problem is child is having x variable, parent is having x variable. Then in that case, how to call the parent variable without creating the object? So use simple this keyword, super keyword. If you apply the super keyword here, so it will directly pick the superclass, immediate superclass variable value. So that is 100. You are getting compile time error. Why you are getting compile time error? Anyone? So you are not supposed to call the super keyword from static context. Okay, that is also one point. You are not supposed to call the this and super keywords from the static context. You are not supposed to call from there. So in this case, what you have to do? You must be having some method here. So from that method, you need to call this variable, right? So I am writing a method, m1 method here, right? Here I will use this time. So to call that method, I must have a request for m1 method. Right, compile the code, execute the code, you are getting both values, subclass value 10, superclass variable 100. So how you are calling the superclass variable? By using super keyword. So you must call the super keyword from instance method or instance block or constructor only. Right. Suppose in m1 class there is a method void m2 method, right? m2 method. In subclass also there is a method m2 method. I am not writing entire code, copy paste. Pasting here m2 method of child class of parent class, right? So suppose if you want to call the m2 method, how you will call it? So using this reference you can call it, or from m1 method you can call it. So I am trying to call from m1 method, so I can call directly m2 method like this. So here from main method, using this reference I am calling m1 method. M1 method will be called, m1 method will call the superclass variable and it will print. Then I am calling m2 method. If I am calling m2 method, what will happen? First it will search, is there any m2 method in subclass? M2 method is there or not? Yes, it is there. So in this case, child class m2 method will be printed. So I am compiling the code. So compile it, execute it. You are getting child class m2 method. You don't want child class m2 method, you want parent class m2 method. In that case, here you apply super dot. By default, if you call m1 method, it will apply this dot m2. So that's why current class M2 is calling. If you want super class M2 method, then you must apply super dot M2. So in this case, you will get the output parent class M2 method. Compile, execute. So first case M2 method of child class. In this case M2 method of parent class. So this is second example. So this line says first example, this line says first example. To call the immediate superclass variables, you will use super keyword. So to call the immediate superclass methods, we will use super keyword, super.m2. Or if you want to call the superclass constructors, you will call the super keyword. So that is the last point. Suppose in this class there is a xyz variable, sorry, xyz method. So from this method, if you want to call superclass constructor, suppose in this superclass constructor is there abc integer a, or z, whatever it is, right? abc class parameterized constructor. So this is the abc class, sorry, below one is default constructor subclass, or you can say superclass here. It's a subclass, right? See here. So in the main method, you are creating object to xyz class. So that means without passing any parameters, so it will call this constructor. So from this constructor, if you are not writing any super keyword here, so actually if you are not writing any super keyword here, so compiler will add super, right? So compiler will add this line of code. So whenever it is trying to execute by this line of code, so it will verify is there any constructor without parameters. So here you don't have a constructor without parameters. So in this case, what will happen? This is important point. So you created object here. So default constructor is called. So you are not added any super keyword or this keyword anything. So in this case, what the compiler will do? So if parent is there, in that case it will add super, right? So it will be super is added. Super keyword call will be there. So in the super class constructor, it must be having default constructor. Now, compiler will add super like this. In parent class, default constructor is not there. You are trying to call the default constructor. Here you will get compile time error. Right? You are getting the error saying that constructor ABC in class ABC cannot be applied to the given type. So that means here parameters constructor is there, but it is expecting default constructor. So default constructor is not there. That's why you are getting this error. So now what you have to do? So in this case, either you can add default constructor or you can call the parameters constructor by passing some value. Right. So in this case, inside the constructor, I am adding super keyword. That means I am calling the super class constructor by passing 10 value. So it is executing. It will execute. So compile the code, execute the code. You are getting super class constructor, subclass constructor. Right? Any doubts here? So in this case, what will happen? So what the compiler will do? Here it will add super. So that means who is the super class? This class, object class. Inside the object class, constructor must be there, default constructor. If it is not there, compiler will add it. I hope you are getting the concept. So today actually I'm also not that much interested. Maybe people are also less. Okay, no problem. If you have any doubts, you can ask me.